ladies, and welcome to this. Now today we are reacting to my Premier League predictions. Now on the 25th of July I uploaded them. Now there were some controversial decisions in there. Now you'll see in the video, but I got a lot of stick for some big teams being lower than they are, and they ended up finishing lower than I predicted them. So very interesting predictions, and again, I'm always off with my predictions. There's always at least 19 out of 20 wrong. One I get right is a fluke. But let's get on with the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 6k by the end of the year. At bottom of the league and finishing 20th and getting the wooden spoon. I said Brighton. Now, I said they didn't really have any goal threat, and they only had Glenn Murray, Glenn Murray didn't have a great season this year, as he has done in the last few years, but they did bring in Neil Maupay. He scored quite a few as well, and they did quite well. They were on a good run. He struggled towards the end of the project restart, if I'm honest with you, but again, stay up for another year, and what Potter's done there is done a really good job, and stabilised them, finished 15th, really proved me wrong. At 19th, I said Norwich City. Now I said they'll be a breath of fresh air, one of the best teams to ever go down. They'll score a lot of goals and they'll be entertaining to watch. They ended up on like 21 points, so boring to watch, so dull, and went down without a fight really. So probably one of the worst teams I've ever seen in the Premier League in my era. Now at 18th, I surprised a lot by saying Sheffield United wouldn't go down. I said Newcastle. Now Newcastle had brought Steve Bruce in, and that raised eyebrows, and a lot of Newcastle fans themselves said they'll be in a relegation battle. However, Steve Bruce for me has got to be the top 6-7 managers of the year this year. He hasn't played good football, that's honest. His football isn't the greatest, not the greatest to watch, but he's got results. He beat United at home this year. They've got results against the lower end teams. They've beat Spurs away from home as well. And again, when they've needed to rise to the occasion, they have, and they finished 13th. 17th, I said Sheffield United. Now this surprised a few. However, they surprised me even more by finishing 9th, and that was a disappointing end of the season for them after losing the last 2 or 3 games as well. They were chasing Europe throughout the whole season. A great season, what Chris Wilder's done. Probably the manager of the year for me. I know Klopp, what he's done this year. 16th, I said Crystal Palace. Now, if this was asked about a month and a half ago, I would have been massively wrong, and they would have finished about 7th or 8th or possibly 9th. They were chasing Europe at one point, and then an awful project restart, 7 draws, 7 defeats in a row with a draw against Spurs to end the season, made them finish 14th in the Premier League. Predicted 16th. I thought at that time Zaha was off to Everton, however they brought in Alex Iwobi in instead. So that was a little bit of a boost for them, but next year I think they could struggle, losing Zaha. 15th, I said Burnley. I said I respect their values, and again, they had a good season again, a good points tally for them as well. I think it was 54 points in the end, finishing 10th. Again, another club that were fighting for Europe all season. I think Nick Pope had the second most clean sheets in the league this year with 14. So again, Burnley were winning a lot of games 1-0, and Burnley had a bench of a lot of academy players, 2 goalkeepers, and they were down to the last 12 senior players at one point. And what Dyche has done to get him up to 10th and really keep him a good season, to beat Palace away from home, got a good point against Wolves, beat Watford, so they've had a good season. 14th, I said Aston Villa. Now Aston Villa kind of had a mixed season. They started okay, then went to pot a bit, then finished really well. 8 points out of the last 4 games, unbeaten, 2 wins, 2 draws. And again, they had a great season, not as good as I thought they would, but they stayed up. In the end, that's all that matters. They did lose a lot of key players to injury. They lost Tom Heaton, which I thought was a massive blow. They lost obviously the striker up front, Wesley. He could have added goals as well. I think if they didn't have lost those 2 players, I think they could have finished higher than 17th, if I'm honest. 13th, Southampton. Now this is not a bad prediction. They finished 11th. However, if you would have asked me where have Southampton going to finish when they lost 9-0 in October to Leicester City, I would have said probably finishing bottom of the league, and the manager needs to go. What a job Husenheitel has done since, revitalised the Saints at St Mary's, and again they've got some crucial wins, beat City. Che Adams started to score some goals towards the end of the season and looks promising. That player who was unreal at Birmingham City. Well, Bournemouth, Southampton's rivals. Bournemouth, I said, will have a great season. They're good to watch. They score a lot of goals. They concede a lot of goals. I think in the 5 seasons in the Prem, they've conceded over 350 goals, which is an average of 70 a season, which isn't great. However, they do normally score about 55, 60 a year. This year, they've only scored about 40 goals, so 15 goals is a massive blow. And and they ended up finishing 18th, just going down. And I think if you gave them 2 or 3 games extra, they could have challenged to stay up. In 11th, I said Everton. Now, Everton ended up finishing 12th. Now, this is where their worst position in 15 seasons. However, Ancelotti, what he has done since he's come in, he has improved them a bit, and I think he needs time to get his own players in. And I think when he does that, he'll be a great manager for Everton and hopefully guide them to the Europa League. 10th, I said Wolves, who had distractions with Europe, started the season over a year ago now and still playing. However, they've done an amazing job. Jimenez, Jota have been firing on all cylinders, scoring goals. Adama Traore as well. They've just got goals from everywhere. They're consistent. They play good football. And again, smashed my prediction. And for me, unlucky to miss out on 6th on the final day. But again, a great season. They could still win the Europa League and get Champions League football next year under Nuno Espirito Santos. Now, these are where the bad ones come in. 9th, I said West Ham. West Ham ended up finishing 15th. However, that was a bit of a higher position for West Ham when they were 18th for a lot of the season. West Ham did improve towards the end of the season, beating Norwich, beating Watford at home, drawing against Villa. So they started to improve, beating Chelsea as well. And they were starting to look like the side that they kind of were mid-table Premier League. However, awful start of the season, not good enough in my opinion. Even worse, 8th, I said Watford. I said they played great football. They went through more managers than anyone else this year. They had 3 managers. I don't get why they sacked Nigel Pearson. Nigel Pearson came in December, 7 points adrift of the out of the relegation zone. He got him out there. I think when he guided them to when he was at his time at the club, they were 13th in the form table. They beat Liverpool, the first team to do so, and they were left 3 points adrift with 2 games to go. And even his last game against West Ham, it was his first defeat in 3 games, to be fair. He just won the previous 2. In 7th, I put Arsenal. Arsenal won't finish 7th, won't finish in Champions League. They ended up finishing 8th in the Premier League. However, they were 10th before the last game of the season. Not the greatest of seasons for Arsenal. Arteta's improved him. Aubameyang looks better. Lacazette looks better. The defence looks better since he's gone to a back 3. They had a good win against Man City in the FA Cup. They could win the FA Cup as well. That'd round up an okay season if they won that. 6th, I said Leicester will 100% get top 6. They did. They finished 5th. Disappointing season for them in my opinion, from when they were 14 points clear of Manchester United with 17 games to go. And they ended up finishing 4 points behind them. So 17 points in 17 games is relegation form. But the first half of the season, they were unbelievable. However, again, outperformed my prediction, up 1 and definitely in the Europa League. 5th, I put Chelsea. I said they can't sign anyone. The young players will be good. They'll play exciting football, but they'll concede a lot. They did concede a lot of goals, if I'm honest with you. I don't think the goalkeeper's good enough. I said that at the start of the season. I still agree with that point now. I think they need to bring in a couple of defenders in, but this year they've brought a lot of better players in for next year. However, Abraham did well, Mount did well, Pulisic is an ex-Hazard in my opinion, had a great season, and they finished 3rd in the league on goal difference. What a season for Frank Lampard. Hopefully they can round it off with an FA Cup win to beat Arsenal. That'd be very, very good. 4th, I said Manchester United. Manchester United finished 4th. Now, United only finished 4th on goal difference as well. However, a good season for them. Again, with the youngsters where they were at the start of the season. Bruno Fernandes came and did really, really well. I thought they'd get top 4. They did get top 4 on the last day. They've been a lot better since Bruno came in and since January. Ollie's proven a lot of doubters wrong. They can still win the Europa League as well. And unfortunately got knocked out in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So not a bad season. It's United are progressing and hopefully next year they can go and challenge the top 2. 3rd, I said Tottenham. Now, Spurs were 14th when Mourinho came in, only 4 wins to the name, and we were not looking good at all. And Mourinho came in, did really well, finished 6th in the end, a consistent season. We had a lot of injuries, obviously Spurs did, and then Kane got back fit, Bergwijn got back fit, Son got back fit, Sissoko, Winks got back fit. Spurs have been so riddled with injuries. I think every player must have had an injury at one point. They got 6th. Again, finished well. Kane and Mourinho got player and manager of the month for July. 2nd, I said Liverpool. I said Liverpool won't be able to do what they did again and City will run away with it. City didn't run away with it. City was so bad in my opinion this year. They lost 9 games and they were so vulnerable in defence. They are bringing in Nathan Ake and a couple of players from abroad and I think they'll improve. But Liverpool, again, massively proved me wrong. 99 points in the Premier League, which is only like 2 points above what they got last year, and he managed to do it this time with a lot more ease. Again, what a season. They played so good football and they really deserve the league. What was your predictions at the start of the season? How did yours rate? Mine, absolutely awful. The only one I got right was Man United finishing 4th, and that was probably one of the easiest ones to predict. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you do enjoy it. Please smash the like rating if you did, and I will see you in the next video. Up the cards.